Although most modern automatic transmissions require very little maintenance, most manufacturers do recommend periodic service. So what's involved in servicing an automatic transmission? Probably not as much as you'd think. For the most part, transmission servicing involves replacing the fluid and the filter. But before we get started, let's talk for a minute about why it's important to service your transmission. The inside of your automatic transmission is a hostile place with operating temperatures well over 200 degrees. This can be exacerbated by driving a vehicle heavily loaded down with passengers in cargo, the heat of summer, stop-and-go traffic, towing, or driving in hilly areas. The heat will break down your transmission fluid at a molecular level, which in turn causes the friction materials on the internal clutches to wear and lose efficiency. As the clutches begin to slip, more heat is generated, which breaks down the fluid even more. Finally, you end up with fluid that is brown and full of friction material, like this, instead of this fresh dextron, which looks like strawberry jam. If you can change the fluid before this vicious cycle gets too far along, you can potentially save yourself very expensive transmission repairs. In general, we recommend changing the fluid every 30,000 miles, even though some manufacturers may claim their fluid is good for the life of the car. What they really mean is the life of the warranty. Let's get started. This job is going to take you under the car, so let's make sure it's raised and supported on jack stands. Also, make sure the transmission is warm from a brief drive, but not so hot that the oil will burn you. The transmission on your vehicle may be equipped with a drain plug for easier servicing. On this Ford F-150, unfortunately there is no drain plug, so you'll loosen the bolts around the perimeter of the pan, then let the fluid drain from one corner. Lucky for us, this Toyota is equipped with a drain plug to make draining the fluid quicker and neater. Remove the plug, then use an Allen wrench to remove the plastic overflow tube inside. Once the fluid drains, carefully replace the tube, then install the drain plug and torque it to the proper specs. These specs, as well as other important information, are in your Haynes Manual, or in our online edition. Be sure to dispose of the old fluid properly. If your transmission has a filter that needs changing, oftentimes you'll find it underneath the pan. Some vehicles do use a drop-in or spin-on type filter like an oil filter. On this Dodge Challenger with the popular ZF 8-speed automatic, the filter is integral with the pan and both must be changed as a unit. If you're reusing the pan, clean it out, wipe off the magnets or magnetic drain plug if equipped, then replace the magnets, install a new gasket, and torque the bolts to the proper spec. Now fill the transmission with the proper amount and type of transmission fluid. Then check the level and make sure there are no leaks. Some modern cars have done away with the simple dipstick to check the transmission fluid level, but your Haynes Manual will have all the details for the slightly more complicated procedure. And that's all there is to it.